so far.
Perfect transition right there. So that brings us right on into our signing center. Like we said last week, really quick though, guys, before we move on, anything that you like on social media that you want us to talk about and touch on this segment of As Seen on Social, comment under it if you see it, hashtag ELF Live. And then if we get enough of those, then we will talk about it here on the show. ELFpedia says 6'7", 300 pounds for hashtag BenVP. All right, so yeah, obviously, the thing that jumps out to me also, Matt, dude was a captain at Temple. That is not to be overlooked, okay? This guy is from Stockholm, Sweden. He came to a new country and became the captain on the football team. It means not only is he such a contributor on the football field, but also culturally for the football team. And that's another thing. I mean, we were just talking to Ben about the Vienna Vikings culture, and this dude is going to very likely bring some more of that great culture to this squad. Do you think this is going to be the best O-line in the league, or how do you compare it? Because we talk about the Surge offensive line as well.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I think if you look at conference, that Vienna will probably give up less sacks because you've got to play against less elite pass rushers. But I don't want to take it away from Vienna because this offensive line is unbelievable. You add in honorable all-conference offensive tackle, you're probably going to have a pretty outstanding offensive line. Like they said, 6'7", 300. And Temple actually have shown a little bit of international interest because Peter Clark, also British tight end, he scored for them last season. So he's coming up through. So he is a blue chip prospect. And I think Vienna are going to have a lot of success because he's also, you see tackle, you think they're more pass protectors. He is an elite pass protector, but he's also an elite run protector as well. If you look at his PFF grade, he had an 81.9 run grade, which is in the borderline elite category for a run player. You add in the running game they had last season, these offensive weapons. Ben's going to got a really quick release, so he's going to be able to get the ball fast out of his hands. This is going to be one of the most electric offenses we've ever seen in ELF history.
Absolutely. And somebody was just asking, sorry, this is off topic, where you can watch games in Spain. Well, all games can be watched worldwide on DAZN. Worldwide, we're talking the entire planet. So for who I missed your name on there, who was asking, but that's where we got. Yeah, dude, Vienna's doing a great job recruiting. And I mean, this is a team that is out for a vengeance after last year. Yeah, Jamal says here from Athletes Forum, Vienna knows how to recruit. So that's what we got with Vienna. Let's move on to our next signing. Their biggest rival, the Raiders T-Roll. Ben was just talking about it. And Matt, last week you went on a beautiful rant about the Raiders T-Roll, the running back potential. Tobias Bonatti is back, extended by the Raiders. Had a fantastic season last year, really kind of just stormed onto the map as sort of a premier back in this league. Matt, talk to me about this signing.
I mean, like you said, I went into a bit of a tirade last week, and some people are like, oh, Bonatti hasn't signed yet. And I'm like, I know he hasn't, but they're still fantastic. Now he's here, I can talk about him unfiltered. He is Mr. Automatic, 5 yards per carry minimum. He's always been above 5 yards per carry, which is every second run he gets a first down. He also fixed his fumble issues, 6 in the previous season. This year, or the season just gone, he had 0. He became ironclad, which is massive for him. He is a nice jump kind of running back. He's very balanced, I said before. He can basically do every run. You want a counter player, you want a power play, you want someone to run out ISO formation. He can do anything and everything you ask of him. He has great contact balance. He's great in the red zone. I'm a massive Bonatti fan. I think he's going to be you got the leading running back. I think he's probably going to take the most touches for the Raiders this year.
Awesome. I mean, he's pretty young too. I don't know. How old is he? He's like 24?
24, 26. Yeah, he's not old.
Yeah. So awesome to get him back for the Raiders. Now moving on to Spain with the Madrid Bravos signing Cesar Brunani, played for the Barcelona Dragons previously. He's 5'10", 194. We've got him here labeled as El Pitbull in the defense. Matt, talk to me about why he is called El Pitbull here.
Well, he's smaller stature, right? That's his profile, but he is relentless. He's going to be taking people out in the lower half safely, but just, aggressive linebacker style. He can play across the outsides and the inside of the linebacker as well. He's a legendary Dragon. He's had like 200 plus tackles in the ELF. He's been there for a long time. He's now going to the Madrid Bravos, and he's going to be giving them he's a cleanup crew. That's what he is. You miss a tackle, he's going to be there. You need help on a tackle, he's going to be there. He's everywhere and everywhere around the ball. When you're watching old Dragons tape and you see a tackle, it's pretty likely that he's going to be within 2 yards of everything happening. Expect a lot of value on special teams as well. A lot of fumbles, a lot of interceptions. He has like one of every stat. Like block kick, fumble recovery, interception, forced fumble, sacks, tackle loss. Everything you can imagine, he's done. True veteran. I'm excited that he comes back into the league with Madrid.
And Madrid's putting together a little something. We were talking before the show, man. They're going to be sort of in the conversation. Don't know if their ceiling is as high as some of these other teams, but they're going to have a solid season. We got a little bit of beef in the chat here. Marcus says, "Does anybody like the Raiders?" And Ricardo Oliveira's response, "I love the Raiders." And then Marcus hitting him back with the zinger. So sorry, Ricardo. Get well soon. Ricardo comes back. If you don't like the Raiders, you are blind. The hardest tackle 2 years in a row. This actually, not to get too much off topic, but I'm wondering, Matt, who's kind of the heel of the ELF? Who's kind of maybe the most disliked team of the ELF? Do we have somebody?
I think it'll be Ryan, right? They kind of like punch you in the mouth. They're better than you and they know it. But now this season, they're not the same. Maybe you argue that's Nordic. They've taken everyone's all-stars and put them into one team. They've taken all-star from Vienna and from Stuttgart and from Ryan. So I think you could argue that Nordic are. And I feel like Glenn and Jay just give off like Raiders in the NFL energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that old black hole kind of like attitude.
Hey, well, they've earned it. They're allowed to give that off. Okay, real quick on the chat before we go to the next signing. I'm Jay. He says, "Yeah, you've got the Game Pass. There's actually gonna be an NFL game in Spain this year, brother, and also there's going to be the Madrid Bravos games in Spain. So those are what you can watch in person. Just taking care of that. Go watch a Madrid Bravos game and then go to the NFL game that's happening in Spain. All right. And just, real quick, just to wrap up that beef. Marcus said, football's family, but the Raiders are the annoying step.
I love Marcus.
Last thing of the Raiders. Marcus is just on fire today. All right. Let's move on to our next signing. And that is back to Paris. Hugo Tekedam is extended back in the French capital. Matt, I know you were pretty high on him because he ended up having a fantastic season, and also, he was listed at quarterback for damn near half the season. Talk to me about this.
You talked about ceilings. This is the definition of a high ceiling. Hugo Tekedam. I was talking to people within the Paris organization at the awards. They're like, yeah, we just lined him up at receiver in practice. It turns out he was pretty good. Pretty good is an understatement. You have a very athletic former quarterback, played for the Paris national team, but he's 6'2", just a shade under 200 pounds. But he is rapid, flash fire speed I've got there, because he is incredibly quick. Probably one of the quickest players in the league. Great hands for a player that's not really played much receiver, catching over 70% of the targets. He's a rack threat. Deep and short, he can take a play to the house. We saw him multiple times, especially with this play against Berlin you're watching now on your screen. One of my favorite plays from him all season, in one of my favorite jerseys of the year. The big thing, he is still learning the ins and outs of receiver. Route running, the contact balance, being able to get off press coverage against elite corners. That's still coming to him. But he's had now a full season at receiver. He's got a full season under his belt to practice, and off season as well, with great French talent around him. I think that he's going to have another big year. He could. Go over 700 yards. He could go for 1,000.
Well, he's got Jalen Henderson to be throwing to him this year. He's going from one great QB in Edwards to another great QB, potentially. We'll see. He hasn't played in the ELF yet, but I think a lot of us have high expectations for him this year. All right. Now, to our final of the signing center. I'm going to show off my German pronunciation chops here. Hopefully, the Surge signed running back Albert Wiesig. How was that, Maxi? Our German producer. Hear that right there? Coming from Berlin. Maxi just said, meh. That's just It's called an American accent, Maxi. Okay. 5'7", smaller back. There's a little bit of a bowling ball here coming to the Stuttgart Surge. I was just talking to recruiting coordinator of the Stuttgart Surge, Cody Pastorino. They're very, very excited about the signing. He was the second leading receiver actually on the Thunder last year after Aaron Jackson. And so they're really excited, obviously, what he can do traditionally running, but also catching passes out of the backfield. Matt, what are your thoughts on this sign?
Yeah, I've done a full evaluation on Albert, how much I enjoy his game. Like you said, he's an amazing receiving back. He actually had nearly more receiving yards than he did rushing yards for the Berlin team last season. Perfect scheme. You have him and Tomiwa, two of the most well-known receiving backs in the league, in the same team. It's very clear what they're trying to do with this offense. I think this is an amazing signing. He's one of my favorite young German running backs in the league. I think his ceiling is incredibly high. Like you said, he's short of stature, but it just gives him a great center of gravity. You have to even wrote center the American way, just for you. He is phenomenal, and I think he's going to have a lot of success in Stuttgart.
I appreciate you spelling center the correct way. Appreciate that, Matt. And then just one thing, just to make me feel a little bit better from Just Shots about my pronunciation of Wiesig Trauch. There, I messed it up this time. He said even Germans can't say that without messing it up. So there we have it. Surge adding to that backfield. They've already got Oyewu, one of the best in the league, and then adding some depth there and a little bit of a change-up back. So that is our signing center. Now let's sort of move to the opposite of the signing center, if you will.